Senator, it's great to see you again. You have served in the Senate. You're a successful businessman. Why in the world do you want to be state comptroller?
Yeah, I want to bring Trump's sense of urgency, his leadership skills that he's displayed in Washington to Austin, Texas. I want to DOGE the state of Texas.
But well, let me ask you that. I mean, people might hear that and say, listen,
Yeah.
Republicans have been in control of the state for a quarter of a century. Is there really anything to DOGE?
There is. Look,
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Let me just give you a little bit on the scale, Jason. Texas is spending now with the new budget over $500 million a day. That's $350,000 every minute of every day, 7 days a week. The comptroller's office is vast and large, and they've tasked so much new stuff to the comptroller's office. He's in charge of over 200 state agencies, as a matter of fact. Let me just point out to you how important it is to do this. You probably remember when I was in the Senate, I uncovered a large corruption scandal here in Dallas County. Countywide elected board, had 2,000, 3,000 employees, over $100 million annual budget, and they were stealing millions of dollars. I got the Texas Rangers involved, and we got the FBI involved. 6 people went to prison. And I closed the agency down right after that overnight.
That was Dallas County Schools.
That is correct, not Dallas Independent School District.
Right.
Yeah, it's completely different. But the point is, I was DOGing before DOGing was cool. and that's one agency. The state of Texas, what they spend annually, the state of Texas spends every 7 hours of every day. And so, yes, we need to look in to get transparency. And here's the thing, all the money comes into the state comptroller's office, all of it. I have eyes and ears on every dollar, and I need to make sure it's being spent correctly and properly.
Well, you've also said that you would expose the billions of dollars that Texas wastes on undocumented immigrants and woke programs. What do you think you're actually going to find? And billions sounds like a lot of money. Do you think there really are billions of dollars spent on those programs?
I tell you, we won't know unless we look. And we got to look. First thing you got to do is investigate it. And I'm not saying there's a lot of crime in Austin or anything like that. I'm just saying, look, I like to use this analogy. You know, no one likes cleaning out the garage, but when you pull back in after you've done it, you feel pretty good.
Your former Senate colleague, Kelly Hancock, is now the acting comptroller, slid into that position here. The establishment is really rallying around him to get the job. Governor Abbott even endorsing Hancock. Can you overcome the establishment?
Absolutely.
Tell me how.
They're desperate. And it speaks to the desperation of my opponent to have all the manipulations, gyrations to get where he wanted to get. And the voters are going to see through that. My endorsements are off the chart, totally unprecedented. Right out after I announced, right out of the chute, Ted Cruz endorsed me, Ron Paul endorsed me, Vivek endorsed me. He created DOGE. Now I've got Charlie Kirk. I've got Mattress Mac in Houston. I've got Riley Gaines. I mean, I'm just stacking them up. One that I'm really proud of is I have 75% of the SREC, the State Party Executive Committee.
Sure.
It's a totally unprecedented and competitive race. I got national committee man, woman. I've got I have every conservative organization in the state that's endorsed. And let me just point this out. These are very hard to get. Most of these people don't just whimsically endorse. They've got boards they go to, these organizations. They got to get the board to vote. They vet all the candidates. They vote on this stuff, and they hardly ever endorse a lot of these individuals. So I'm just racking up endorsements every week.
And it's still super early to be getting these endorsements too. I mean, we're a long ways out still.
We are. And everyone that hasn't endorsed, I'm going to get them. I really feel confident about that because I'm the true conservative MAGA Republican in this election. There's a clear distinction now between the establishment, Bush wing of the party, and the MAGA wing of the party.
Is that what this race is going to boil down to, do you think, the establishment versus the MAGA wing?
I think it will. But look, I'm a business guy. I'm a business guy. And I've been successful, as you know, in my business. And to that point, that I'm the only elected office holder in the history of the state of Texas when I was in Austin that never took any money from the government. No pay, pension, health care, reimbursements, no nothing. And I'm going to do the same as comptroller. I'm never going to take a penny from the government. And
you won't take a salary?
No way. I'm not, and even reimbursements, the per diem and the pension's pretty good. You know, that's big money. But it doesn't matter. I don't work for the government. The government didn't hire me. I work for the people. And that's who hired me.
How much do you think this race is going to cost?
Whew, too much. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it's going to cost a lot.
How much do you plan to put into it?
I can tell you there will be millions, and the race will cost, $10 to $20 million. Texas is huge,
Sure.
and the media market is massive, as you know. Fourth. I think y'all are fourth.
Yeah.
Biggest in the nation.
Across the state,
Yeah.
across the nation.
DFW
yeah, indeed
is,
so.
correct, yeah.
You're also campaigning on looking for maximum property tax relief.
Absolutely.
That's the legislature's job, isn't it?
It is.
Well,
I guess
who doesn't want maximum property tax relief, but what in the world could a comptroller do to get that?
I think we can do a lot, and I plan on doing that.
What would you do?
I am going to use the bully pulpit to absolutely pound on the legislature. I'll work with them. I'm going to work with them, and I'll work with the governor. But I think we just need to communicate clearly the vast amount of money that the taxpayers have overfunded to the state of Texas. Last session, it was over $20 billion, and that money belongs to the taxpayers. It doesn't belong to government. That's another thing that really separates me from my competition, or really any other politician in Austin. I am the taxpayer champion. I understand that the money belongs to the taxpayer, not the government. The government didn't create the money. And I'm going to do everything I can in my power, my authority, to try to get that into property tax relief and refund it to the proper owner.
And I'm sorry, were you talking about the $20 billion?
$20 billion or whatever.
The extra, whatever the cash?
Yes, or whatever it is going forward.
Okay. Last question here. Christy Craddock's in the race, the railroad commissioner. The former Senator Kelly Hancock's in the race. You're in the race. How are you different from these other two?
I'm the only candidate that's actually DOGE government. And I did that. I got 6 people put in prison and 1 agency. I'm never going to take any money from the state of Texas. And I tell you that I am here for the people. I'm here for my love of Texas. And that separates me a lot from my competition.
Senator, great to see you again. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for your time, Jason.